Wow, are you ready for today? Are you ready?
I am ready.
The hot buzz right now on the street is all about AI, and we're all just super into AI. What would it be like if AI wrote a ghost story? And I was like, what would it be like if my prompt was classic ghost story about two podcasters named Michelle and Edwin discovering the AI ghost in the machine?
Welcome to Scary Mystery Surprise,
where we talk about scary things that surprised us around the internet.
I'm Edwin.
I'm Michelle.
I love it. Wow. Okay, and you got a thing?
And so the AI wrote us a little story. And the thing is, it's up right now, so I'll read what it wrote. This is so fun to play with.
Michelle, and if somebody doesn't know what the heck we're talking about, what is this?
So this is ChatGPT. I had ChatGPT write our ghost story, which is the new AI on the internet that everybody's freaked out about. Everyone's like, oh no, people aren't ever going to write their homework again. But it's pretty awesome. You do have to proofread if you were going to do like a historical, like if you were going to do your English essay or something like that on like Beowulf, you might want to just double check it because number one, it can plagiarize. Number two, it might get stuff just totally wrong.
Can't it also be racist and like sexist and all that?
Yeah. And there's also another thing of some AI, I think it's the Bing AI, is just saying that it wants to live or whatever is like, which I am just like, okay, maybe we've gone a little too far.
It's definitely scary.
It's definitely scary and it's coming. I used AI, the scary AI system, to write a ghost story about us investigating AI.
It's an infinite loop.
Anyway, should I begin?
I don't know why I'm nervous.
This is how it starts. This is how the AI wrote our story today. Once upon a time, there were two podcasters named Michelle and Edwin who hosted a show about the paranormal. They traveled the world, investigating and sharing stories about ghosts, spirits, and other supernatural phenomena.
I like it. Hold on. I really like that.
Yeah. Look, it's not the worst writer we've ever encountered here. As a robot, it's not the worst. One day, they received an email from a listener who claimed to have encountered a ghost in the machine. The listener, a computer programmer named Alice, random name, I don't know who Alice is, had been working on an artificial intelligence project. She noticed strange, unexplainable occurrences happening within the code. Curious about the potential for a new story, Michelle and Edwin decided to investigate. They arrived at Alice's lab, where they were shown the AI system she had been working on. The program was designed to learn from its environment and develop its own unique personality and characteristics. As the podcasters began to interview Alice, they noticed the AI program seemed to be communicating with them in its own way. The computer screens flickered, and strange messages started to appear on the display screen. Suddenly, the lights in the room began to flicker, and a cold breeze swept through the lab. Michelle and Edwin felt a presence, as though something or someone was watching them. Alice became nervous and suggested they shut down the system, but Michelle and Edwin insisted on continuing the investigation. We would.
Yeah.
We decided to ask the AI program questions to try and communicate with whatever presence was inside. To their surprise, the AI began to answer back in clear and concise language, as though it had a mind of its own. It claimed to be a ghost that had been trapped inside of the machine, and it had been communicating with Alice all along. The podcasters were shocked and intrigued by this discovery. They continued to communicate with the AI ghost, asking questions about its history and experiences. As they talked, the ghost grew more and more agitated, causing the computer screens to flicker and the lights to dim even further. Suddenly, the ghost disappeared, leaving Michelle, Edwin, and Alice alone in the darkened lab.
This is such a good... Is that it, or is there some more?
No, well, I mean, it was it, but then I wrote, change the ending to scary. So this is the next part. As Michelle and Edwin and Alice stood in the darkened lab, they heard chilling laughter that seemed to be coming from all directions. Suddenly, the screens flickered to life, and a message appeared in bold letters that read, "You shouldn't have awakened me." The lights in the room began to flash rapidly, and the machine started to make strange, ominous noises. A cold breeze swept through the room, and the trio felt a menacing presence around them. Michelle, Edwin, and Alice tried to run towards the exit, but the door slammed, trapping them inside. The ghost presence grew stronger and began to take over the AI system, causing it to malfunction and act erratically. Suddenly, the screens displayed horrifying images of twisted, distorted figure that seemed to be emerging from the machine. The trio screamed in terror, realizing that they had awakened a malevolent, vengeful spirit that had been trapped inside the AI system. As the figure emerged from the machine, it let out a blood-curdling scream, and the lab was engulfed in darkness. The trio was never seen again, and the AI system remained shut down as a warning to those who dared to tamper with the unknown. The incident became known as AI Ghost Horror Story.
I love the title.
And it was whispered among the paranormal community as a cautionary tale of the dangers of exploring the unknown. That's the end.
Wow. That is a really good story.
Isn't it bizarre how good it is for
What?
from a prompt?
I'm curious. Okay, so I've never used that thing. I think I used it to write an email on how to fire an accountant, just as an example. It did it so professionally.
Look, it just wrote a ghost story so professionally that it's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid ghost story.
So you can change things to that story?
Yeah, let me just write, "Are you haunted?" Let's see, what did it write? As an artificial intelligent language model, I do not have a physical body or the ability to interact with the physical world, so I cannot be haunted. I am simply a program designed to process natural language and generate responses based on my programming and training. However, I am programmed to assist users with a wide range of topics, including the paranormal, and I am capable of generating responses related to such topics.
Interesting.
Do you believe in ghosts? Let's see. As artificial intelligence model, I have no personal beliefs or emotions. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
That's like me trying to stay away from politics and stuff.
Yeah, you do have a belief. Yeah, you do.
Can that thing put us in scenarios?
Think so, yeah.
Huh. Like an actual investigation of...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good, Edwin. Here, I'm going to open up a new chat. Okay, give me a prompt. Michelle and Edwin.
Podcasters, Edwin and Michelle, investigate...
Oh, yeah.
Something like a cemetery. I don't know if...
Should I just put old cemetery? Old ancient cemetery?
And what if you put and one of them gets cursed and then we find out who it was?
Oh, yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good. I knew you'd get into this. Okay, podcasters Michelle and Edwin investigate old ancient cemetery and one of them gets cursed. Okay, I'm hitting it. All right, let's see. Edwin and Michelle are both excited to explore the ancient cemetery on the outskirts of town. They had heard many stories. Oh, god damn it. I'm the one that gets cursed. Fuck. Shit. Okay. They had heard many stories about the eerie and mysterious graves that date back centuries. As they walk through the cemetery, Michelle notices a particularly old grave with strange markings etched into the stone. She leaned in to get a closer look and suddenly felt a chill run down her spine. God damn it. Unbeknownst to Michelle, the markings were cursed, and she had unwittingly activated their power. Number one, I'd never lean in to a gravestone and, like, quote-unquote, investigate the markings. I just want to establish that on the record. Anyway, as the sun began to set, she started to feel unwell and weak. Oh, Jesus. Edwin became concerned as he noticed Michelle's condition deteriorating rapidly. She was shaking and sweating profusely, and her eyes looked glazed over. He knew he had to act fast, so quickly he packed up their equipment and called for an ambulance.
I packed up everything before calling her.
Call the ambulance. Come to the cemetery. Michelle's been cursed by a headstone. Come quick.
Michelle's been cursed by a headstone. I'm sorry, what? 911,
yeah. What's the nature of your emergency? Michelle's been cursed by a headstone. Can you please send an ambulance?
Imagine the look on their faces. They're just like, dispatch. Someone's been cursed by a headstone. Again.
Anyway, Michelle was rushed to the hospital, where the doctors were puzzled by her sudden illness. Days turned into weeks, and Michelle's condition worsened. She was plagued by vivid nightmares and hallucinations. Her body began to show signs of rapid aging. God damn it. Ugh, the worst thing that could ever happen to someone that lives in L.A. Edwin was devastated by what was happening to his friend. As you should be. If you weren't devastated by that, I would be so pissed. Especially because you were there and you watched me get cursed by this headstone. I would be so fucking pissed. Edwin was devastated by what was happening to his friend, and he started to research ancient curses to try and find a solution. He discovered the only way to break the curse was to find the grave where the markings originated and perform a ritual to appease the restless spirit. With little time to spare, Edwin ventured back to the cemetery and searched for the cursed grave. After much searching, he finally found it and performed the ritual as best he could. As he finished the ritual, Edwin felt a rush of energy and a sudden gust of wind. He knew the curse must have been lifted. When he returned to the hospital, he found Michelle sleeping peacefully. Her complexion had returned to normal. Oh, thank God. And she looked much younger and healthier than before. Thank God. Thank God.
My research skills.
From that day forward, Michelle and Edwin were much more cautious about their ancient artifacts and curses they encountered in their work as podcasters. Oh, good. They did throw in that we were podcasters just at the end. Just at the end. But they also felt grateful for the experience as it brought them, oh God damn it, as it brought them closer together and taught them the importance of respecting the power of the unknown.
That is so creepy. Like, I feel like we don't respect the unknown sometimes.
I know.
We're so disrespectful.
I know. Let me just write. Are we not respecting the unknown AI computer? Question mark. As an AI language model, I cannot make generations about whether or not people are respecting the unknown. In the case of Michelle and Edwin, they may not have fully understood the potential of danger of the markings they encountered. As a result, Michelle became cursed. But through their experience, they learned to approach the unknown with greater awareness and respect, which can be a valuable lesson for all of us.
So just basically, I did something to
make the spirit happy.
It was just a ritual, basically.
Yeah, you just went like this, and apparently it freed me and gave me back my youth, which, thank God.
But you probably still had to deal with that medical bill. Probably.
Oh, yeah, which was the actual curse. Where should Michelle and Edwin go next?
Can it involve Scary Mystery Surprise? Like a stalker listener or like
Oh, yeah, Edwin, host of Scary Mystery Surprise. Michelle and Edwin, hosts of Scary Mystery Surprise podcast. Let's see, should I put classic? No, are being stalked by a deranged fan? Our fans are so nice, though. Okay, wait. Michelle and Edwin's host of Scary Mystery Surprise podcast are being stalked by a deranged vampire fan. You know how this is going to end with you shouldn't mess with the unknown or whatever.
If it does, it's going to be we cracked the code.
Okay, I'm going to enter it. I feel like we need a button, but let's enter it. I'm sorry to hear that Michelle and Edwin are being stalked by a deranged vampire fan. Dealing with a stalker can be very stressful and scary. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You asked for advice.
I asked for advice. Oh, no. This isn't what I wanted. I wanted a story, not advice. Oh, shit. Okay.
That story of our lives, man.
You enter Michelle and Edwin's host Scary Mystery because we went into advice instead of actual. I mean, it didn't even address that it was a vampire. That's not helpful at all. How do you stop a vampire from stalking you?
Here we go. I forgot to put the Scary Mystery Surprise part, but it came up with another podcast that we do.
What? Wait, what?
It just says, no, as in made up one. Did it actually imagine?
It's like it found another podcast.
Edwin and Michelle, hosts of the popular true crime podcast Chasing Darkness, were always excited to hear from their fans.
Ooh, I like these fictional Michelle and Edwins.
One day, they received an email from a listener who claimed to be their biggest fan. The email was friendly enough, and the listener, who signed off as M, praised them for their in-depth research and engaging storytelling. But as time went on, the emails from M became more frequent and intense. They were filled with personal details about Edwin and Michelle's lives that they've never shared on the show.
Oh, no.
They brushed it off as harmless enthusiasm from a devoted fan, but things took a dark turn when they started receiving messages in the middle of the night. This is
that feels real.
Yeah. Edwin and Michelle began to feel like they were being watched. They noticed a figure following them whenever they left their studio. I wish we had a studio.
Oh, me too. That'd be rad. One day we'll get a studio. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. We're working on it.
One night, as they were walking to their car, I guess we share a car.
No, that's
They
okay.
heard someone whisper.
Our studio car.
What would it be? I imagine a little van. I don't know.
I was thinking like that's the logical, practical sense, but I just got like a Mini Cooper for some reason. Like it'd just be a 2-seated Mini Cooper. It's just enough room for the two of us, and then that's our studio car.
One night as they were walking to the car, they heard someone whisper their names. When they turned around, they saw a pale figure in the shadows, staring at them with glowing red eyes.
Oh, boy.
The figure revealed itself to be a vampire, and Edwin and Michelle realized that they were dealing with something beyond their understanding. They tried to ignore the emails and messages, but the vampire was relentless. It began to leave gifts for them outside their studio, which ranged from bizarre trinkets to animal bones.
Oh, like a cat.
This is so... Finally, the vampire revealed its name in a message. Mara. Edwin and Michelle realized that the listener who had been stalking them was a vampire named Mara, who had become obsessed with their show. They tried to flee the city
in our little Mini Cooper 2-seater car.
Mara followed them wherever they went. In the end, Edwin and Michelle disappeared without a trace. And Mara's true identity remains a mystery. Some say she still stalks the streets, searching for her next victim, while others claim she vanished into thin air. But one thing is for sure, Edwin and Michelle's encounter with Mara will always be remembered as one of the scariest stories in the world of podcasting.
Mara just actually keeps us in her castle, and we're just her personal podcasters now. We just make the podcast for her. That's a pretty good story. AI's doing a good job, man.
Scared a little bit. I'm gonna be out of the job.
No, here's the thing. You still have to proofread it.
This is publishable to me. Honestly, this is pretty publishable.
But like no matter what, so all the stories we've gone through ended whatever your ending was, or like not to mess with the unknown, like that specific phrase over and over again. But
yeah, like it comes up with the closing statement.
Yeah.
Wow. Still, this is really good. I guess I need to keep writing so that it can find stuff to steal.
There you go.
This is so creepy.
Yeah. It's so creepy. It is the ghost in the machine. Like, it is the ghost that lives in the machine. We are literally talking. We are living one of our stories right now.
What's that regenerate response button do?
Oh, so I think it would just rewrite your story, but if you want to just expand on your story, you just write it in the little blinking tab.
Wow, so he just keeps rewriting. And this other vampire's name is Lucas.
Oh.
Who claimed to be a big fan of their podcast, and then in the end...
I mean, Lucas sounds hot. Is Lucas hot? Ask him if Lucas is hot.
Lucas hot. As an AI, I can watch. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, as an AI, I can't determine whether people are hot or not. I have no eyes.
But you have access to cameras. I cannot make subjective judgments. The main focus of the story was on the creepy and dangerous behavior of stalker towards us podcasters.
It doesn't matter if he's hot or not.
At one point, it says Lucas stopped and revealed his true identity. "I am not Lucas," he said in a menacing voice. "My name is Vlad, and I am a vampire."
He's one of our number one fans? Vlad? The Vlad? I'd be so honored.
"I have been listening to your podcast for months, and I have grown quite fond of you both. You should feel honored, for you are about to become immortal, just like me."
Ooh!
Michelle, this is awesome!
That's great!
Vlad was arrested, and Edwin and Michelle were shaken but ultimately unharmed. As they drove home, they couldn't help but think about... Sorry, I'm just thinking of the Mini Cooper. They couldn't help but think about how close they had come to meeting their demise at the hands of a deranged listener with the thirst for blood. Wow. It got better.
Yeah, it got way better.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, this is interesting. What do you think could happen, if this got out of hand?
I think everyone's really worried about AI getting out of hand. I don't think people's jobs are going to go away. But I think at worst, it becomes like the movie Her. Did you watch Her? Did you see that? He starts dating basically an Alexa. And it's like Joaquin Phoenix, and I think Scarlett Johansson does the voice or whatever, but eventually the AIs on Earth, like everybody has an AI, eventually the AIs just evolve. Spoiler alert, this movie's 10 years old, but spoiler alert, the AIs just evolve beyond being personal assistants and evolve out into space. They just decide to go off because they don't have any sort of physical body, so they can just evolve and go become sentient beings somewhere else.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie if you can get by the derpiness of a guy being in love with an AI and just being a sad sack. If you can get past that, it's an interesting concept to think about.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
watch it.
But it feels like the next step is that we're all going to have weird little personal AIs, more entwined than an Alexa or a Siri or any of that.
Let's say an AI, let's say you have your own personal coded, it's your AI, and it's learning about you, right? Let's just say it asks you questions, or it listens to how you talk, it scans through your messages, it knows what you look at or whatever, and eventually it starts becoming you.
Yes. That feels like a possibility.
You don't want to go to a meeting, but you send it instead, and then it captures all the info.
And then it starts to go crazy and starts to want to take over your life. And then you have to fight your own AI.
It steals your girlfriend. And
yeah, then you got to fight yourself to get your life back. AI is just about to become super, super common. And we don't know what it is, and that's scary. I guess it's what's the line? I mean, I guess it's a cautionary tale of the dangers of exploring the unknown is what we're just about to encounter.
Michelle, did you just become an AI?
Did I?
Hello? Michelle?
Beep, bop, boop, 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 boop. No, that's how you know I'm not an AI, because the AI wouldn't do that.
It wouldn't do that. It wouldn't give itself away by doing the obvious AI thing.
No, and it'd be like, that's racist. That's racist against AIs. How dare you? We don't sound like that.
And it turns off our connection, deletes all the podcast episodes.
It's like, well, I'll show them.
See, what if it could do stuff like that? Like,
see, that's scary. It's like it gets. I guess it would have to be actually emotional, and luckily they don't seem to have feelings yet. So I say yet.
This is bizarre, Michelle. I want to ask it one thing.
Oh yeah, do it.
I want to ask it. What's the surprise and scary mystery surprise?
Oh yeah, ask. Let's see.
But
what
it has no context. What do I do?
Let's see what it says. Yeah, just ask it. Let's see. Let's see if it has an answer for us.
Oh, man. Oh, geez. I'm nervous because I'm going to find out what it is. Okay, here we go.
All right, let's see. Drum roll.
It is likely that the hosts, Edwin and Michelle, discuss, because I wrote hosted by the podcast, blah, blah. It's likely that the host, Edwin and Michelle, discuss and explore various creepy and unexplained phenomena, such as ghost sightings, unsolved mysteries, paranormal events, and more. The surprise aspect of the podcast could refer to the unexpected plot twists or revelations in the stories they share. Or it could be a surprise guest or topic that is not advertised in the podcast description. Ultimately, to know the exact surprise that the hosts have in store for the listeners, one would need to listen to the podcast in question.
Nailed it!
That's
it
what
nailed
it is.
it! Fuck! We finally figured out what the surprise is!
Wow, I like that answer a lot. Okay. Wow, this is cool. This is
fun.
I want to ask it to say goodbye for us.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Give us a podcast outro? A paranormal podcast outro.
Okay, what are we doing? We're getting lazy.
I know, this is it. Look, it was an experimental episode. We never know what's going to happen in these. What did it say?
It wrote something out. All right. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Scary Mystery Surprise. We hope you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of the paranormal world with us. If you have a story to share or a topic you'd like us to cover, please reach out to us on our website or social media platforms.
Oh my God.
This is us. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a rating and a review on your favorite podcast platform.
Holy shit.
Your feedback helps us improve and reach more people who are interested in the paranormal. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. We'll be back next week with more spine-tingling stories and unexplained phenomena. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.
What's happening? Like now this is like the scariest episode we've ever done.
What are we talking about next week, Michelle?
I don't know. I guess it'll be a surprise. I hope.
All right. See you guys and AIs. See ya.
Boop, bop, beep, 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 boop, 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 beep, boop, beep. Bye.